What's the biggest story? Let's take Kenny Pickett out of it. Although I would say, to dovetail on that, to me, the biggest story is how they utilize Kenny Pickett, or how they allow him to do more in terms of calling plays and just, allowing him to be more of a quarterback who doesn't have as many restrictions as he did last year. So to me, that's something I'm going to be looking forward to. What about you?
So can I do an end around on the no Pickett rule and say that the biggest story is something Mike Tomlin sort of alluded to? He was asked point blank, like, do you need more chunk plays down the field, more explosive plays? And he said, yeah, and that's going to be a focus. Well, Najee Harris is not a home run hitter, wasn't one at Alabama, hasn't been one in the pros. So when the head coach says, well, we need more explosive plays, that to me translates to we need to be more aggressive down the field in the passing game. And whether those are just words or whether the Steelers actually implement Mike Tomlin's wishes into action, I think is going to be the biggest story of camp.
It's interesting. We saw yesterday that Justin Herbert got $262 million. Already this offseason, we've had 3 different markets set and reset the quarterback position in terms of money, from Jalen Hurts, then after him it was Lamar Jackson, and now it's Justin Herbert. And I wonder about Burrow. Do you think that's going to happen this offseason?
I mean, it should. Mike Brown is a notoriously cheap owner, seen that way for pretty much the entirety of his tenure owning the Bengals, right? But he needs to pay Joe Burrow, $275 needs to be the new number, and then a guarantee above $225 million, right? And Burrow is better than Herbert. Herbert might have all the physical gifts. Burrow has the Super Bowl appearance, the back-to-back AFC title game appearances, and he's one of the only guys in the league who can say that when it's mattered most, he's actually beaten Patrick Mahomes. So if I were the Bengals, I wouldn't wait around. I would get that deal done.
So what is it going to look like for Justin Herbert? He got a lot of money and hasn't really done anything in the postseason, not necessarily all his fault, but is he going to be just a stats machine? Is he going to be a fantasy player more than someone who's going to be able to win? To me, I look at that team and I think the pressure's on Brandon Staley and the ownership to go out and give him things that he needs. But how about if he doesn't achieve that? It's a lot of money to give a guy who hasn't really achieved anything in the postseason yet. And what does Patrick Mahomes have to say about all of this, even though he's got like a 15-year contract or whatever's left on it?
Well, what's going to happen with the Chiefs is they're going to eventually, Mike Florio said this today on the PM team, where, by the way, Hannah Mears, shout out to Hannah. We had her on for the first 2 hours of the show as a co-host, and she did very well, especially talking to Florio. But he said about Mahomes,
very talented young lady, yes.
We actually counted how many different things Hannah has going, and it's like 8 or 9. So that was very impressive to Mike as well, who said he could not even drink 9 icy lights when he was in his mid-20s. No, but he said about Mahomes, to quickly answer that part of it, even though he's got the long-term deal, they'll probably rework it to put it more in line because they're going to have to keep his ego happy, and they should have to keep it happy because he is the gold standard at the position. As far as Herbert, though, Bob, isn't that the whole thing here? I mean, really quick, I know we got to take a break, so I'll try to be brief. Justin Herbert has all the physical tools. You watch him one time and you understand that. Justin Herbert in any given game can outduel any quarterback, including Mahomes, in the entire league. But there isn't much proof there. You get one huge playoff lead and you blow it, and yet if you're the Chargers, what are you going to do? Yeah. Say, no, we're not going to give you a market-setting deal? That's where this market is kind of so tough to figure, because guys like Herbert, I think, are good enough to deserve it. Other guys get a lot of money who I wouldn't give it to.
We're going to take a break on that note. It's 412-575-2600. Call us. Air your opinions right here, right now. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. It's also simulcast on 93.7 The Fan tonight. We'll be back right after this.